The film opens with a tranquil scene on Skull Island, where Kong, now fully grown, is living in a secure environment. He has been placed in a massive containment dome by Monarch to protect both him and the outside world, as Kong's movements and growth have made it difficult to hide him. Kong starts his day by bathing in the waterfall and longing around. However, he becomes frustrated, sensing he's being controlled. Gia is a young deaf Eevee girl who has a close bond with Kong. She approaches him, and she is the last of her tribe, and Kong responds to her with affection. Gia communicates with Kong using sign language, hinting at the depth of their connection. Meanwhile, at an Apex Cybernetics facility in Pensacola, Florida, a sudden attack occurs. Godzilla, seemingly unprovoked, rises from the ocean and destroys the entire complex. His attack confounds the world, as Godzilla had previously been considered a protector of humanity. Panic spreads as people wonder why Godzilla has turned aggressive. Bernie Hayes, an Apex technician and conspiracy theorist, survives the attack and investigates the incident. He runs a podcast that questions the activities of Apex Cybernetics and believes they are hiding something. Monarch scientist Dr. Elaine Andrews, who has been studying Kong, expresses concern about keeping him in captivity much longer. She fears that if Kong is not moved to a more natural habitat, it will harm his well-being. Walter Simmons, a CEO of Apex, reveals his plan to tap into the energy source in Hollow Earth, a subterranean world where the Titans originated. He believes this energy could power a new creation designed to challenge Godzilla's dominance. To achieve this, Apex enlists Dr. Nathan Lind, a former Monarch scientist who specializes in the Hollow Earth theory. Lind initially hesitates but is pursued when Simmons reveals a plan to use Kong to lead them into Hollow Earth, where they can harvest the energy. Lind and Andrews convince Monarch to move Kong off Skull Island to avoid a confrontation with Godzilla. They plan to transport him by sea, sedating him heavily during the journey to Antarctica, where an entrance to Hollow Earth is believed to exist. Gia is brought along because of her unique ability to communicate with Kong and calm him. As the fleet of ships crosses the ocean, Kong begins to steer, sensing danger. Godzilla, drawn to Kong by instinct, as both are Alpha Titans, attacks the convoy. The naval fleet is no match for Godzilla, who swiftly disables the ships and forces Kong into action. In the first major battle, Kong holds his own despite being in Godzilla's natural environment. Godzilla uses his atomic breath to devastating effect, while Kong counters with his raw strength and agility. The battle results in severe damage to the fleet, but Kong barely survives while playing dead. The fleet shuts down its engines, tricking Godzilla into thinking he has won. Godzilla eventually retreats, leaving Kong injured and exhausted. After the encounter, Lind and the team shifts plans to airlift Kong to the Hollow Earth entrance in Antarctica, using helicopters to carry him. Once there, Lind explains that Kong's ancestors might have originated from Hollow Earth, and the gravitational immersion at the entrance could be lethal without Kong leading the way. Kong, guided by instincts, enters the Hollow Earth with Monarch and Apex team following in specialized vehicles. Inside, they discover a surreal landscape where gravity fluctuates and the environment is filled with strange creatures and titans. Meanwhile, in Hong Kong, Madison Russell, Bernie and Josh Valentine investigate in Apex's true intentions. They infiltrate an underground facility, discovering that Apex has been secretly constructing Mechagodzilla, a giant robotic titan designed to surpass Godzilla. The mechanical monster is powered by a natural network derived from the skull of King Ghidorah. Ghidorah's consciousness, via this network, is slowly taking control of Mechagodzilla. Simmons' plan is to replace Godzilla with Mechagodzilla, ensuring humanity no longer depends on Titans for survival. However, the natural link with Ghidorah is unstable. In Hollow Earth, Kong discovers a massive throne room, implying that his ancestors once ruled there. The room contains ancient Titan artifacts, including a massive battle axe. The axe is charged by the same energy as Godzilla's atomic breath, further linking their species. The weapon enhances Kong's strength and will play a crucial role in his battles to come. As Kong explores, Apex begins extracting the energy from Hollow Earth. This action sends a signal to Godzilla, who senses a disturbance. Godzilla, now in Hong Kong, uses his atomic breath to blast a hole straight through the Earth's crust to Hollow Earth, creating a direct pathway between the two locations. Kong, enraged by the intrusion, climbs through the hole and surfaces in Hong Kong, leading to the next epic confrontation with Godzilla. This battle is much more evenly matched, with Kong using his newfound axe to block and counter Godzilla's atomic breath. The neon-lit city becomes a battleground as the two titans clash, destroying entire buildings with each strike. Despite Kong's best efforts, Godzilla ultimately overpowers him, pinning him to the ground. With his foot on Kong's chest, Godzilla roars in victory. Kong is left gravely wounded and Godzilla departs, assuming the fight is over. Apex's plan backfires as Ghidorah's consciousness fully takes control of Mechagodzilla, overriding the human operators. Mechagodzilla becomes sentient and escapes from its containment, attacking Hong Kong and easily overpowering Godzilla in their first encounter. Mechagodzilla's advanced weaponry, including rocket-powered punches and a devastating energy beam, pushes Godzilla to the brink of defeat. Madison, Bernie and Josh try to sabotage Mechagodzilla from the control center, but their efforts are minimal. Meanwhile, Gia senses that Kong's heart is failing. Dr. Lind and Andrews use one of the Hollow Earth vehicles to jumpstart Kong's heart with an electric shock. Revitalized, Kong returns to the fight. In a final team-up, Kong and Godzilla join forces against Mechagodzilla. Godzilla uses his atomic breath to supercharge Kong's axe, giving him the power to deliver the final blow. Kong dismantles Mechagodzilla, tearing it apart, piece by piece. After the battle, Kong and Godzilla have a brief but tense standoff. However, instead of continuing the fight, they acknowledge each other and go their separate ways. Godzilla returns to the ocean, while Kong is relocated to Hollow Earth, now his new home and kingdom, where he can live freely. The world begins to rebuild, and Monarch continues to monitor the Titans. Kong, now established as the ruler of Hollow Earth, lives in his new domain at peace. Godzilla remains the guardian of the surface world, establishing a balance between two Titans.